First at 5, winter is here, and with the cold season comes an expected rise in rates for the flu and COVID-19. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. I'm Faith Jesse.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. Those cases are up slightly. The CDC director says that we haven't reached the peak for either of these viruses. Dr. Mandy Cohen says flu levels are seeing a sharp increase right now, but it appears cases of RSV have hit their peak for the season. She says this is different than last year when all three seemed to peak at the same time.
Well, this data coming just as people prepare to spend the holidays with family and friends. And tonight, 11 Alive's Palacero explains how it could impact your plans.
As the temperature goes down, the number of respiratory virus infections go up.
So we see flu, RSV, and COVID.
So how do you differentiate the three? All are highly contagious respiratory infections caused by different viruses. The symptoms are similar and may include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Health officials say with the flu, you're more likely going to have a fever. With RSV, you may be wheezing. And COVID-19 symptoms lean more towards difficulty breathing, fatigue, sore throat, and sometimes loss of smell. COVID-19 cases are slowly rising in Georgia, according to Dr. Jane Morgan, who contributes the rise in part to Thanksgiving gatherings.
If you start to feel sick and you test negative, remember we have a confluence of 3 viruses circulating, so that you're negative just for that one. It also doesn't mean that you don't have COVID, because you need to retest.
Dr. Morgan says it's best to check with your doctor, and if you test positive for one of the 3 viruses, she has this advice.
If you are sick at the time that you're actually watching this, we are so close now to the actual holiday Christmas Eve festivities. Probably should stay away. The only caveat would be if your function happens to be outdoors and you can mask when you're outdoors, then certainly perhaps you can come and keep a distance from people.
Dr. Morgan says COVID-19 is still to blame for most hospitalizations and deaths in Georgia. And as people gather for the late December holidays, she believes another COVID-19 spike is on the horizon and suggests people get vaccinated.
The new updated vaccine for COVID also covers all of the current variants, including the one that we see gaining in prominence right now, that JN1 variant. This is only a single mutation, and yet it seems to be overtaking its sisters and brothers and cousins.
Palacero, 11 Alive News.